Hottest show in sports.
We have the story of the Polish CEO, the hat, the kid, the U.S. Open, and quite frankly, people who need to get a life.
Polish millionaire is speaking out today after facing backlash for stealing a hat from a child at the U.S. Open this week, and it wasn't to apologize. Yikes. This happened after a match when tennis star Kamil Myszak was signing autographs after his win. He took off his hat to give to the boy, but that man snatches it away and takes off with it. After facing criticism online, the man responded by saying, quote, "If you were faster, you would have it," and threatened legal action for those criticizing him. But Myszak met up with the boy afterwards and gave him another hat to make up for it. I don't know what that man can do to make up for his actions, but, you know, he's got to live with it.
Yeah.
Mike, this is where it gets absolutely steamingly ridiculous here. People have got to just back off. And this we've talked about this before, people who knee-jerk on this nonsense. Because if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, and you should, by the way, and subscribe as a matter of fact, here's just a small example of some of the stuff that wound up on social media. People and these idiots, these morons, these knuckleheads out there who just create these nickel and dime TikTok videos and such. Guy calling him the CEO hat snatcher, the hat snatcher CEO. The CEO begs with a groveling apology, which is all just nonsense. And then on top of all this, not only does that hit, but then these memes hit where allegedly the guy says, and KABC, the station in Los Angeles that you just heard, that's the station that used this information falsely because they claim that the guy said, if you were faster, you would have had it. Yes, I took it. I did it quickly. Life is first come, first served. Basically, they took that information and stuck that in their report. It's a lie. It never happened. This is AI bullshit. Because then the guy had to come out and face this again with, here it is. If you were faster, you would have it. I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. The guy has to then come out. His reputation's been ruined. He's got to issue this statement, which says, I want to apologize. I made a grave mistake. It wasn't my intention. I want to make it clear, neither I, my wife, nor my sons commented on this situation on social media or any website. Mike, the guy basically lays himself out. It's a hat. It's a hat. It's a lousy hat that has a signature of a guy on it, and 100 years from now it won't mean anything. People, back down for Christ's sake. This is ridiculous. Stop with the ridiculous knee-jerking. It's just a hat! A hat!
You know, Ed, if you cared as much about this show as you did lambasting the people who put out these memes, we'd have 20 sponsors. What the hell? I mean, okay, I will disagree. I think that if someone's giving something to a kid and you snatch it, it looks bad.
Which
the other part of it,
We don't know that he was giving it to the kid. He signed it and he put his hand. Now wait a minute.
Come on, Ed. You can see from the video that the Polish guy. Now the only thing I'll give him credit for, he's a Pole. The tennis player is a Pole,
and that's why he was there.
It's like Polska. Yeah, I mean, there's a connection there. But still, come on, it was for the kid. Okay, it's for the kid.
Everybody gets all
and the other stuff. Nobody.
Oh, the poor kid doesn't get his hat. Oh, come on.
Nobody should be doxxed. Nobody should be doxxed because of that. But still, okay, Ed, that's fine. All right, Ed. But here's the deal. You go to the U.S. Open. Be happy you got a ticket. You know how much tickets cost there? They cost a lot. I was given tickets to a Sampras Agassi semifinal match one night. It was amazing. I looked later at the price of those tickets. It was like, I don't know, it was like a $995 ticket. And that was face value. That was face value. They were going for $3,000. So the bottom line is, just be happy you're at the U.S. Open. And if you're a Pole CEO, if you're a millionaire, It's for the kids, Ed. It's for the
But the
kids.
problem with it is, Mike, these social media knuckleheads and nitwits are out here and they destroy the guy's
Mm.
life. So he grabbed a hat. His company has taken it on the chin here all of a sudden because it's getting negative reviews. He's losing business, all because of a freaking hat at a tennis. And not only that, Mike, but this comes down to something you and I have talked about a lot. That TV station used that report and they used inaccurate, fake,
Well,
phony, bullshit information to basically shame this guy. They didn't even bother to check what they did. That's the bigger problem
well,
here.
well. Okay, that's fine. The journalism part of it, there is no broadcaster. I mean, come on, journalism. We could say the old man yelling at the sea all day. The truth is there's a guy online. There was a guy online that wrote. I'd never heard of him, Benny Johnson. Okay, Benny Johnson. I think he lives in
No,
Tampa now.
don't
This
know.
guy Benny Johnson, I don't know, it was one of those things where it showed up on my feed. Why? I don't know. And he's some right wing influencer that's got 3 million followers. He does a couple Instagrams, he does a couple YouTube. He's like us, except he just lies and makes up shit. And so essentially the guy, you find out that the guy was excuse me, the guy had been, I think, fired for plagiarizing twice in his career, suspended a couple other times. I mean, no credibility whatsoever. And he sort of got, and some reason he found a revenue stream of people who didn't care if he lied or not, as long as
Yeah,
they
well, that's it.
believed that he might. That if someone believes you might be right now, oh my God, you can make money. It
Well,
doesn't. You don't even. It's
that's
crazy.
that's the idiotic knucklehead of social media and the way it's become. Somebody went
Yeah.
out there and basically posted a lie to get nothing more than clicks. It got picked up on various social media pages, and then a supposedly reputable television station, a network affiliate, gets on there.
Wow.
They do the story and they shame the guy. I went on the YouTube page of that TV station and I wrote a comment on it. I said, "So are you guys going to now back up and really admit that you lied, that you used material you never checked, that you went out there and made the guy's life miserable? And it's all because it's a hat and it's a kid. If it wasn't a kid, nobody would have said anything. And not only that, but the kid then got the player to come back, gave him a hat, gave him everything. The kid's fine. Just leave it alone, Mike." But the journalism side of this thing is something we've been talking about for a long time now because we still have so many people, whether it's Pat McAfee on ESPN or anybody else, they just throw this shit out there because they know that the idiots out there are going to fall for it. Stop being a sucker.
Well, the big thing is there's no repercussions. There's no repercussion. When I was at the New York Times, we had a reporter. I don't know if you remember the name Jason Blair.
Yeah, oh
Jason
yeah, I
Blair
remember the
was a
story.
Jason Blair was a little con artist. He'd been advanced through the ranks because essentially there was a genuine feeling that we didn't have enough young people of color going through the ranks of the New York Times, and it was true, we didn't. Unfortunately, instead of taking anybody else that was really talented who happened to be black, who happened to be East Indian, who happened to be Asian, they took Jason Blair, and he was elevated wrongly. He ended up becoming this major plagiarist. It made the New York Times look awful. And I went to a all hands on deck meeting where the whole paper rented out a theater in Times Square, and we all met there. And I think I was even quoted on the news afterward, because nobody else would talk to the media. And all of a sudden, I saw the Klieg lights, and I was like, "Hey, I get to be a star, the little sports guy." But so I was a fame whore at the time. Now I'm just chasing a sponsorship, and so essentially,
Keep chasing, buddy.
I just remember thinking that this guy will never work again. Well, the thing nowadays, this guy was a lightweight compared to this Benny Johnson clown. You can't get shamed or canceled out of the business anymore if you're wrong or you just make stuff up, because there's always a revenue stream of disenfranchised, hateful people out there that just want to believe what you might be writing is true.
I don't even
And
know
as long
sometimes
as
if
you
they're
can do
hateful,
that, you
Mike.
can work.
Sometimes
You
they're
can
just
work for.
clowns.
You can
They
work
just
for
want clickbait.
Newsmax. You can work for Blaze. You can work for anybody you want to, and be wrong.
Well, that's it. It's all just clickbait because there are still people out there, and I tear my hair out of this every single time. I'm now writing a column called Dirty Laundry on my website, which deals with the media and talks about a lot of these things and a lot of the factual issues of media. What destroys me all the time is those people who still believe if it's on the internet, it must be real. It's got to be true. Nobody would dare put anything fake up on the internet. They do it every day. And if you fall for it, Mike, the people out there who go, hey, you see what that guy did about that kid? He said, don't worry about it. It's just a hat. You're a sucker. You're falling for it. You're just as wrong as they are. It's got to stop somewhere.
That's all, folks.